Welcome back to Mastering Menopause. Today is a little bit of a bonus episode, but I really wanted to share this with you. I just actually found this out last week, an easy way to get your body fat percentage for free. So, easy and free body fat test. Before I tell you how to do that though, I want to go into what are the benefits of knowing your body fat percentage. I find that when you're undertaking weight loss, we tend to focus on the scale. So at Catalyst Fitness, what we do is we take scale weight, but we also do measurements and progress pictures as well. And we've been using the aggressive dieting calorie calculator from Martin McDonald with some of our clients that is going to rely on their body fat percentage. So we've been having to find that out. And there is a simple and easy way to do it with your measurements. So that has been very helpful to also measure progress as well. Because honestly, when you're trying to improve your body fat composition, the way to do that is to increase the muscle and decrease the body fat. So when you do that, you're going to increase your weight, right, via muscle, but then we're decreasing via fat loss. So the numbers get skewed on the scale, and that can really be a little bit of a mindfuck for some people. And so if you can see your body fat percentage going down, then you know you are going in the right direction. Because honestly, when we're looking to get toned, lose weight, to fit into our pants better, not have any spillover, looking to feel more confident, really that involves having less of that lumpy bumpy stuff on your body. That is fat loss. And then we want to make sure, the reason why we focus on muscle is to make sure that you have something under there as you are losing that fat. There are definitely some benefits for losing fat, building muscle, and there's also some not so great effects of having higher body fat levels, which increases your risk for chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. And so when we know what your body fat percentage is, we can help create your caloric goals and also your overall goals. What is a healthy body fat percentage? And just differentiating between fat, muscle, and water weight, because a lot of times when you start the weight loss process, you are going to be losing water weight. So we want to make sure that we are actually measuring the fat loss, and that's going to be more effective when we look at body fat percentage drops as well. So I can tell you that some of the body fat calculators, I'm going to share the one with you, when they make their recommendations, so I'm going to share with you the Navy SEAL calculator. The recommendations that they make on there is really ridiculous, and it's what their standard of ideal body fat does not compute. It's very much in the athletic range, very lean percentage. So when I looked at that body fat calculator, it said that my ideal body fat range was 19%. I can tell you for damn sure that I haven't been 19% body fat since I was 18 years old. So that is not the ideal body fat percentage. So it's the Navy standards. This would be somebody who's really athletic, who's really lean. And I think ideal body fat percentage for most women is going to be anywhere in that 22 to 25% body fat range. 22%, you're gonna see some abs. 25% I feel is a healthy body fat percentage range. Now, don't get mad when you see what your body fat percentage is. Now, when I say that's ideal, I don't say everybody should be 25%. Everybody's going to have a different comfort level as far as that goes. When I started earlier this year, I was at 29% body fat, and now I am at 26.5%. Body fat recommendations are really based on averages, and it's not going to apply to everybody. If you have an athletic body, you're probably going to have a lower body fat percentage. Also know, when we take the measurements, if you are very muscular, this is going to skew those results. This is why BMI is bullshit. BMI is weight based on your height and your weight, and that is it. It doesn't take into account at all what your weight. It doesn't take into account at all the amount of muscle that you have on your body. And so just know that online calculators, the tools, this calculation that I'm going to give you, it's useful. It's just a general guide, right? This is not an absolute truth. But this is also a very inexpensive way to get your body fat testing done. Now, I know if you're like me, at one point in time, you've probably had a body fat composition scale. And I can tell you those are wildly inaccurate. Same with those in-body scans. Really, really inaccurate because you have to duplicate the circumstances that you had that testing done. Now, when you do your body fat testing, you're taking measurements, I would say do this like maybe once a month. And so you would do that first thing in the morning before you have anything to drink or eat. And then also you want to get to 1/4 of an inch. So to be as accurate as possible, get as close as you can to 1/4 of an inch. Here's what you are going to do is you are going to get a body measuring tape. The fabric tape works great. I have this one. This one's called the Myo tape. I think this was like $10 on Amazon. I like this because it hooks in on itself. And so if you're listening to the podcast, which you probably are, then you can't see what I'm showing. You can see it on YouTube, but this is called the Myo tape. And so you're going to do a neck measurement. And so that's my little measurement thing. So you just open that up and then it hooks on itself, and then there's a little button that you can get so it gets nice and tight. And then you just grab the measurement here and then release. And so what I did, because I actually with my coach, she was testing and I was doing my measurements in centimeters. So I actually did mine in centimeters, but you can do it for inches. So I'm going to show the calculation is going to be in inches. So what you want to do is you want to take your neck measurement. The next one is you're going to do your waist measurement. So this is going to be the smallest part of your waist. It's typically like 1 inch above the navel. And so right around here, like you can see, look in the mirror for this one, guys. Just see where is the smallest part of your waist. Get that measurement, and then you're going to move it to your hips, not on your hip bones. You want it on the meaty part of your booty, getting in that hip measurement. So I'm going to back up a little bit here. So take those 3 measurements, and then you're going to plug it into the calculator. Let the calculator do the work. It's also going to ask for your height and your weight. The Navy SEAL with the body fat calculator, it's going to ask you for your gender. There are 2 different formulas between men and women. So you want to make sure that you're picking the right gender so that you can get that body fat percentage. I think I already said get as close as you can within the 1/4 of an inch. That's how you do those measurements. And then I cheated. I said to ChatGPT, I said, here are my measurements. Please plug these into the Navy SEAL body fat percentage calculator. And so it spit it out. Otherwise, you're going to have to like do the calculations like on paper. And trust me, you just either run it through ChatGPT or go onto the Navy SEAL calculator site. Again, this isn't the be all end all of measurements, right? It's just a great tool to have in addition to your progress pictures once a month, in your body measurements once a week, and then also along with the scale to end that frustration with the scale when you see like it's not going down the way that you think it should be. It's kind of hard to see your body fat percentage going down. I don't think that we think about it that often. So when you do your pictures, I would say that would be a good time to do your body fat measurements as well. You're already doing your measurements, so you can just run it through, and then you'll see like each month that your body fat is going down. So it's really just another tool to see how you are progressing. And so hopefully that is helpful, right? You don't need to get an expensive scale. You don't need to do a DEXA scan. The gold standard is hydrostatic weight testing. Those are pretty pricey and they're not readily available. I know it's super popular to do the in-body scans. They're just not reliable and they're off by a wide percentage. This is just a super easy way, very accessible to do it at home with just a tape measure. You don't need anything fancy. It's also great to measure your progress as you are lifting weights, because you're going to be adding more muscle mass to your body, and that adds weight to the scale. And so again, we've already addressed that, right? That can just play havoc on your mental state where you're like, this isn't working, when in actuality it really is working. Your body fat percentage is going down, and that's how you create that toned look that you are looking for, having less of that squishy stuff on your body and more of that lean toned muscle. If you need help with these measurements, how to do that assessment, then please just reach out to me. If you know anyone that would benefit from this information, then please share it with them. I would highly appreciate that. And if you found this useful, then please leave a review and subscribe. I appreciate you so much for listening. I will have my regular podcast on Sunday as well, but I'm hoping to do these a little bit more frequently. I don't want to promise anything because that's when I get myself into trouble, but I think I can commit to doing one extra podcast a week, especially on something like short like this. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you Sunday. Bye.